Hey YouTube, it's Dawson Rider here with a review of S.H.Figuarts Kamen Rider V3 from Kamen Rider V3. So, the third rider in the show era we're getting. We didn't get him in order with Ichigo and Nigo. We had like Sky Rider and Amazon with in between and such, but I don't know why that's important. I'll just shut up now. Let's go ahead and take a look at the packaging. Pretty solid packaging, very watermelon-like. Reminds me of another package that was like a watermelon. I can't remember what it was. Anyhow, you can see the background is red where the figure would usually go. It says Master Rider V3. Got a picture of the figure of V3 doing a signature pose. V3 logo, green bordering, picture of the figure on the side, name on the side. On the back shows the cool stuff you can do with it. So it's overall okay packaging. The watermelon look combined with kind of sort of darker green gives off a very retro vibe, which is neat. As for what he comes with, bunch of fists as usual. He's got the regular fist on him now, doing his best Jedimon figure art pose, which is at attention. And a huge amount of fists here. He's got the picking his nose / pointing hand, the prostate exam hands, the holding this thing hands, the signature pose hands. Yeah, that's dirty. The relaxed hands, more holding that thing hands, or hand job hands? I don't know. Anyway, this is getting dirty. And then some kind of karate chop hands. And then he's got alternate scarves or whatever. Right now he's just got relaxed ones. These, which I'll show going on, are more flowing in the wind. And then he's got this effect part which separates into different pieces for his kicking, despite not coming with a stand. So unless you already have one, you're kind of SOL. And then he's got this thing, which... Damn it, get in there. I had to look it up because, to be completely honest with you, I haven't watched really any showa. I just have a very base knowledge of it. But this thing here, which is like a little cylinder, if Wikipedia is right, if I'm wrong, please correct me and I do apologize, is the V3 Hopper, which is like a little surveillance device. Why is my thumb twitching? Anyway, which is a little surveillance device, and it's used for like surveilling and stuff. To me, it just looks like a little like V3 energy, like a 5-hour energy or something. He's got one on his belt right now in the holster. This one's out of holster, and you can put it in his various hands he has to hold it. Totally using this little Ryuki card thing to get these out. And then he comes with that, and if I can get it out of here, the empty holster. Oh, I almost had it. So like when he's holding it, you can have the empty holster on it, so you don't cause like a paradox, and then like a time warp opens up, which is kind of like what Fies did, so there's no discrepancies. So that's neat. Anyhow, I just rambled on with some weird stuff and a shaky thumb. So the figure itself, the head sculpt is done really nicely, I think. The compound eyes are kind of a darker green and they look pretty good. The helmet has a nice sheen to it. Not like Sheen from Jimmy Neutron, but just a sheen. But it looks pretty good. The collar looks okay. It's kind of an odd style of collar just in general because it's a little higher up. All the paint on him is done pretty well. It's kind of done in this almost like, not matte finish, but almost it's like this nice finish to it, which looks good. It looks a little lumpy the way it kind of, not like the design of like these lumps, but just the way the articulation goes. But the paint's fine. Same here with the arms. The paint's fine on it. The belt is pretty well done here. It's got some good detailings on it as usual. See, there's the little V3 energy. Now here, I'll get to the joke in a minute about this if you can't tell what it's going to be already. But decent paint going here. Like a lot of the Showas, he's pretty basic, so you can't really fault them for any of it, but they do a pretty solid job on the paint. Now here, this looks weird. This looks like a really small miniskirt, and he's showing some vag. So V3 just very well may stand for V3. I mean for V3. Wow, I failed at that joke. V3 may very well stand for Vag 3. I don't know. That's a little bit like dirty, but that's what it looks like to me. When I was looking at pictures of Figuarts Stronger when I was pre-ordering it, I noticed that he had that problem. I had no idea V3 did. It just looks kind of weird. I don't know. Anyway, articulation-wise, 360 ball joint here, swiveling, double elbow joint, swiveling here. He's got the articulation, as you've already seen, at the chest up here and at the waist. 360 ball joint, swiveling, double knee joint, swiveling down at the foot, the toe joint action, and of course a nice ball joint on his head for nice upward movement and 360 and all that. No loose joints to speak of, a pretty solid figure. Now let's just show a couple of the things you can do with him before we get to a final verdict. This effect part's kind of strange. Like the instructions show you doing it all different. I usually just you know, get him in the kicking pose, and he's all like, "I'ma kick you," and like you put it in here, and then there's some sort of third piece which they're showing, which I did not get or something, I don't know. But then you like put this in here to secure it down, but that's the kicking piece. But I'm not really going to use it since I don't have... Well, I do have some extra Tamashii stands, but most of them are broken and stupid. But I'm probably not going to use that. And then to switch out his scarves, it's really easy, actually. Just pull those out and put these ones in. It's really interesting with all these scarf ones I've gotten over the years, because they're so hit and miss. Some of them are super easy, like this one, and then other ones are just strange and hard to deal with and eat up camera time. But yeah, that looks pretty cool. It shows that on the back of the box for the kick, but you can get it for like a standing and flowing in the wind mysteriously pose or an action pose. But really easy to switch out. Did a good job on those. Oh god, almost put the wrong one away. So anyway, that's really about it. If you don't know, if you didn't watch the vlog where I got this, V3 is kind of special to me just because before I got super into Rider and I just had a base knowledge of it, I picked up a little trading figure at an anime shop that used to sell Rider stuff, and my first figure Rider ever was just a little trading figure of V3, so he's kind of special to me. And I just always kind of liked his design. It's a little silly. Like, some of the Showa ones can be silly, but compared to the kind of regularness of Ichigo and Nigo, V3 is a little bit colorful and watermelony, but I always kind of liked it. It's very retro and just kind of cool looking to me. So he was special to me in that respect. So I was excited for him more than any other Showa release that we've gotten so far. The figure overall is pretty solid. For whatever reason, I do have some problems with it. I think it's well made. The paint looks good, and the articulation's solid and good as usual. There's no loose joints. I think it's just... It could be very personal preferences. It just looks a little strange to me. Like, maybe it's just because of the nature of his suit not being as streamlined in a lot of ways as Ichigo and Nigo, that there's some lumpiness going on and it looks a little weird. Like, right now he looks fine. It's just sometimes it looks a little strange. And this whole mini skirt thing bothers me a little bit, and like his belt being to the side of me having to pushing it over. But those are just kind of minor complaints. He just looks slightly off to me, that's all. Nothing really major that I would say don't pick this figure up. It just, compared to some of the more streamlined figures we've gotten recently, he just looks a little off. But otherwise, he's a very solid Showa release. Like I said, articulation, as usual with Figuarts, is good, and we have no loose joints, which is always great to have. And the paint looks good, and he looks good standing with the others. So if you're a V3 fan and a Showa era fan, I can definitely recommend picking him up. I enjoy him, and I'm glad to have him since he's one of my favorite Showas, just for, you know, nostalgia reasons. But anyway, that makes it sound like I'm really old and watched it when I was little. Anyway, again, thank you for watching. Make sure to check out RidersRangeRamos.com for token news in the greatest way possible. Till next time, it's Dawson Rider, signing out.